before we perform, we generally, before any performance, share the languages of our storytellers by calling story in many languages. Shall we go?
Yes.
Off we go. Come in, Yadviga.
Come on then.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Stories.
Stories.
Maise.
Maisa. Golpo.
Kahani.
Baika.
Varta. Story.
Kitcha.
And here we go with our first little offering. Bagels, come and get your hot bagels.
Hey, Chanachur.
£3.
Strudel.
Hilsafish.
Cheesecake.
Apples and pears.
Come and get it. Come on, ladies and gentlemen.
£1 spinach. Well, those street calls or street cries actually takes me to somewhere to my memory, down the memory lane. I remember that when I was a little girl, and we lived in a tiny town called Jamalpur in Bangladesh. There was a huge mango tree in front of our house, and there's a courtyard in our houses. Every day in the late afternoon, we would hear these street calls. Hey, Shari Kapoor, Shishi Botol. Those street calls. They are the people who come here to sell their stuff, either saris or fabrics or pots and pans, all other trinkets. The one that I was very interested about was the person who didn't come to sell. He used to come to buy stuff. He used to buy stuff that we actually gathered together for him. He is a junk dweller. He had a huge basket on his head. And on the basket, it is a bamboo basket. On his basket, he would have a handheld scale with a really iron weights. Sometimes I have seen that he also using those small stones and coins if there is a small stuff that is he needs to weigh first. So what happens in the end of the school year, I would eagerly wait for this vendor to come when he would give the call, "Ei shishi botol ar purono kagoj." And I would rush to my mother, and my mother would come out of the house, and the vendors would go inside. And I have seen my mother's stuff, that all those stuffs are really old clothes, my father's pair of trousers, a cap, maybe pots and rusty pans, tins, even the perfume bottles. He would take them gladly and he would give some cash to my mom. Why I was waiting so eagerly after the end of the year of the school? Because I have got my old school books, I've got my exercise books, and I have got my little geometry box. And he would give me some change. With that change, I would rush to the street and go for the chotpoti or chanachur or kotkoti and come home happy. This is amazing. All the street calls that Saif and Paul and I was doing, it reminds me about the East End, Petticoat Lane Market. If you visit now, you will hear the calls. It's a bit different now. If you want to visit the Roman Road Market, you'll get all those calls, street cries. And sometimes in Whitechapel Market. And actually, I think about my experience in Bangladesh, it's no different here. In the Petticoat Lane Market, I was living there, not on the Petticoat Lane Market, on the top of a shop. From the shop, there's a window that I could see them across the road where the market is kind of settling down on Sunday. Every Sunday, I would wake up with a noise coming out from my window. You know what sort of noise? I could hear the wheels, the metal wheels are going round and round and round and dragging all those moving stalls. Given a couple of hours, I push my window up really strong. And the moment I do that, oh my God, the lovely mouth-watering smell would jump. And if I looked through the road, I could see it's all colorful. So many clothes and stuffs, the CDs, the food and vegetable, everything is set up over there. I still remember my friend who was from Malta. He used to sell sweet chestnut and caramelized peanuts. And he would go like, chestnut peanuts, chestnut peanuts. Oh, that is so lovely. These street calls has a long history. I'm going to tell you about that. East End was poor, and there is a great change, but it takes me to the memory lane, to the history. In the history, we know that during that time, actually, there would come a person or few people who would come with a horse-drawn cart, and they are actually junk dwellers. And they would give a call from the street. They would buy all the old stuff, like my mother used to, and they will sell it somewhere. They are called ragabone men, but the word is actually rag and bone man. Rag and bone. And we heard that, rag means clothes. He was buying it to turn into papers, and the bones into glues. I don't know much about that. But all I know that he would buy rusty mangles or broken pram or pots and pans and the clothes, and he will give some cash to them. And it actually was so interesting, and it influenced the people who lived there, especially the creative people, the poets, writers, and songwriters and singers. Their songs been written, plays been written. One of the plays that I remember, it was in 1728. He was called John Gay, and he wrote a ballad called Beggar's Ballad. And it is actually the beggars, means the local people's story. And that was so popular that it was played again and again with the song and the people's experience. All of those were put in there. And there are several versions. And one of the versions, I think afterward, was directed by Peter Brook. And guess who was the main actor? It was Sir Laurence Olivier. Since then, so many people written it, and even Seth's friend, and Anne Johnson, she actually put together all those verses and made a song. And today, Seth and I and Paul are going to sing some of those verses, which actually we put it together in Bangla and English. It's about the vagabond man who used to give a call from the road, and there are calls from all sorts of street cries, and this is about the olden days story, what they used to collect.
So we're going to sing it, but I think first we'll hear the tune from Paul. Any old iron called the ragabone man, bring out whatever you can. A rusty mangle or a broken pram, and I'll take it away.
নিয়ে আসো যত যত ভাঙা কাজ কল,
শিশি বোতল আর পুরনো কাগজ,
নিয়ে আসো যত যত ভাঙা কাজ কল,
শিশি বোতল আর পুরনো কাগজ, pretzels, bagels, hot salt beef, a nice cup of tea, oh what a relief, cheesecake, strudel, anything sweet to take home or eat on the street. Oh!
ঝালমুড়ি চানাচুর নকুল দানা, ঝালমুড়ি চানাচুর নকুল দানা, and চটপটি চানাচুর গজা দুখানা, যত পারো খেয়ে নাও ছেড়ে হাত পা, শুয়া পেঁয়াজুর সাথে নাও গরম গরম চা, হট হট চা।
Any old uncle, the ragabone man, bring out whatever you can. A rusty mangle or a broken pram, I'll take it away.
শিশি বোতল আর পুরনো কাগজ,
Any old iron, oh any old iron,
শিশি বোতল আর পুরনো কাগজ,
I'll take it away.
I'll take it away.
Shishi botol or purana kagosh.
I'll take it away.